Rise and shine, it's Magic Monday time. Your astrological forecast for the week of May 16th to May 22nd. What's happening in the cosmos, but what I'm more interested in is how you can leverage these planetary energies to live your most magical aligned life. I'm here every single Monday morning getting caffeinated and cosmic alongside you all. I'm so grateful for those who choose to start their week with me. Let me know what you're sipping on to move into your week. We have a little matcha latte. It's pretty divine, so I hope your coffee, tea, water, whatever it is that you are starting your week with is divine as well. Important to note that it is a Scorpio lunar eclipse, so just make sure you're drinking lots of water. A lot of cleansing energies in the cosmos, which we will be detailing day by day as well as thematically. If you wouldn't mind, just keep in the back of your head if anything I say is of value to you, if you could consider liking, commenting, subscribing. Any little nudge that you can give is just really helpful in continuing to create cosmic content. Woo, that is a mouthful, especially with Mercury retrograde. And without further ado, let's dive into the vibe check of the week. So in vibe check of the week, we essentially liken what the cosmos feel like to a real life situation. So you sort of have something to emotionally latch onto to understand these cosmic energies. And if you watch or listen to Magic Monday often, you would know sometimes they're a little strange and sometimes they come in the form of song. And I know it's Monday morning, so it's a little early to hear my singing, but alas, the song I thought of when I thought of all of the celestial influences this week is "And then my love is rare, rare, rare. And then my love is true. I'm like a bird, I want to fly away." Yeah, it's "I'm Like a Bird" by Nelly Furtado. And no, I can't just say that. I do have to sing it. Great song. And talk about Mercury retrograde and Gemini distracting us. So I looked at all of the astrological influences. I took a beat to just let that song come in my head. And then I really latched on to why that song symbolizes this week's astrology, which I'll get into in a moment. But I just want to say that I've been trying to sit down to film Magic Monday for like an hour now, because watching that music video, because obviously when that song pops in your head, you have to go listen to it. I'm so sorry. It's such a great song. And the music video was such a trip. And then obviously I had to go down a tunnel around looking up Nelly Furtado's birth chart. She's a Sag. P.S. She also has Mercury conjoining Neptune, which is interesting because that's also in this week's astrology and I wasn't conscious of that. And then I just went down this nice rabbit hole of a bunch of songs that came out around that time and got really nostalgic, which again, Mercury retrograde is a time about revisiting the past, right? And then all of a sudden, an hour in, I was on this like Macy Gray song and just like vibing. And then I was like, girl, were we not filming Magic Monday? So we're here an hour after I intended on filming. I keep getting distracted with Mercury retrograde and Gemini. Let me know if you've been feeling the same way. But alas, we're here. Here's why this week feels like "I'm Like a Bird" by Nelly Furtado. We've got a Scorpio lunar eclipse, particularly if you are Eastern, that exacts early Monday morning. So an extra moony Monday. Week starts off dark, right? It's intense. It's purging, it's grieving, it's ending, it's releasing, it's transforming. And with that energy, there's this interesting arc because things get much lighter kind of towards the end of the week. And there's honestly some really great, powerful energies this week around being able to lean into change and being able to lean into freedom. And that song is such a great mixture of this really freeing, happy, optimistic, like I'm a bird, I gotta be free, but also sort of like this grief and this sadness around, I wish I could stay the same for you, but I just can't. I'm like a bird. I gotta fly, I gotta be free, right? And I feel like that's this week because there's this weightless, ungrounded energy with this week, because as we're coming out of eclipse season, this is the time where there tends to be drastic changes, beginnings and endings. And this lunar eclipse in its entirety is this energy of endings and having this really bitter pill to swallow, especially with it squaring Saturn. And I do have a video that details this eclipse much more in depth. But what you need to know on Monday is that there can be a lot coming to the surface for the purpose of releasing. And rather than getting too latched onto it, getting too attached to how things were, it's really this energy about moving into the next phase of your life, releasing what is no longer serving serving you. And yes, taking that beat, taking that time to grieve what it is that's leaving, whether it is, you know, or you're letting go of a job, or you're letting go of a version of yourself, whatever it is that's kind of shifting at this moment. There's this intense moment of like grieving, like, dang, I wish that thing could have stayed. But then there's this really weightless feeling around realizing like, I'm a bird, I'm free. There's opportunity to grow and to evolve. And on one hand, freedom can feel very scary. There's this feeling of being untethered is the word I think I was looking for earlier. There's this feeling of being weightless. There's this feeling of like, I don't know where my home is. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. There was this energy of feeling lost in the cosmos. So we can feel that sensation of being lost and being like, I don't know who I am or where I'm supposed to be going. Or we can feel that and really feel this really weightless sense of freedom around, I can create what it is that I want to create. I can fly to a new place if I want to. And for some people, you know, you can be moving through some huge transformation. So I just don't mean to, you know, just positive Pollyanna over all of that. But I do want you to reframe that experience of feeling lost, because it's like we can feel lost and we can panic and be like, I don't know where my home is. I don't know where my soul is. I don't know who I am. What's happening? But you feel lost because you don't recognize who you're transforming into and what your life's transforming into. Like when you feel lost, that is a moment that your world is transforming and you don't recognize that version of yourself yet, or you don't recognize this new chapter of your life yet. Like in those moments when you feel lost, know that a significant, honestly, up level is on its way. Because even just the sensation of feeling lost and ungrounded, things are shifting and evolving in your world, and it takes some time for you to adjust to this new vibration, this new frequency, or this new chapter, this new era of your life. So I want you to lean into those sensations of feeling lost and ungrounded, and rather than viewing it as, I'm so lost, I don't know where my home is, I don't know where my soul is, play I'm Like a Bird by Nelly Furtado and just honor this particular era of your life. Honor the freedom of your own independence or of your own decision to take the reins of your life and shift into a new era. So I'm going to give this more texture and nuance as we continue through the week ahead. Do keep in mind that I use PST, so adjust to your time zone before putting it into your planner. And without further ado, let's dive in. On Monday, the 16th, we have the Scorpio Lunar Eclipse exacting early in the morning if you are on the East Coast. It exacted late Sunday night if you're on the West Coast. Either way, expect an eclipse hangover, okay? Full moons can be a lot, okay? Some people will report that they feel exhausted during full moons. Some people have a hard time sleeping during full moons. Regardless, I want you to be gentle with yourself on Monday. We do have a tonal shift. The full moon exacts early, and then by around 5 a.m., the moon shifts into Sagittarius, which is Nelly Furtado's sun sign, of course, and Sagittarius is all about our freedom. So again, it's like now that we've moved through the depths and the grievings and the endings of this Scorpio lunar eclipse, and it's on the south node, so we are letting go of versions of ourselves, of certain toxic patterns that we were in or certain areas of our life. We're letting them go, and then the moon zips into Sagittarius, which is like, okay, now that I've released that particular portion of my life, now I can anchor into my freedom. Now I can expand. I can find the big picture again. So there is this intensity that we're moving through, and I don't want to take away from that, but I want you to anchor into the Sagittarius moon tonal shift around feeling how beautiful it is to feel free, okay? You can feel free and sense it as panic and really crave stability, or you can sense it around what a freeing feeling. I'm truly like a bird. I'm truly like a bird. Nelly did not lie. P.S. Go watch that music video. Nelly was wearing bell bottoms, and I too am wearing bell bottoms, so I was like, that is so perfect. And that was before I even, looked at the astrology and thought of the song and everything. I was like, Nelly, I'm feeling your vibe. And then on Monday also, the Sagittarius moon trines Jupiter in Aries. So while there's this eclipse hangover, there's like this energy around being able to see the positives of it, or being able to be honest with ourselves around, okay, that trail, call back to last week if you watched, that trail was not my trail, okay? I'm getting out of this hike altogether, and now I can really celebrate and anchor into my independence and my ability to do my own thing. I do want to say, be mindful around not getting distracted on Monday, because the Sag moon does oppose a Mercury Gemini. And one thing about Sagittarius and Gemini placements is that they have a great sense of humor. They're very curious. They're very interesting and interested in the world around them. So while this is a great time to connect with other people around you, to get some new stimuli into your system, it's not really a day that you'll be in the mood to slog through the details too much. On Tuesday, the 17th, we have the Gemini moon is trining Venus in Aries. It's squaring off with Mars and Neptune, and then Mars and Neptune conjoin. This is great for big picture, attuning to the big picture vision of your life around, now that we've released what needed to be released during that Scorpio full moon, now we have all of this space. And it's like, now that I'm not on that trail anymore, I don't live in that place, or I'm not in that relationship, or I'm not in a friendship that was taking so much energy from me and draining me. Now I have so much time to reattune to the big picture of my world. What is it that gives me a sense of meaning and purpose? And while that energy sort of permeates the cosmos of Monday and Tuesday, again, not too terribly great for staying on track or staying focused. And again, with Mercury retrograde, really important to be attuning to the details, double check, reread, review, and also relax. Like, with Mars conjoining Neptune, the downside of this transit happening on Tuesday, which P.S. Nelly Furtado has within her natal chart, gotta love that. So the downside of this is that we can find that our energy just gets basically vacuumed away. With Mars conjoining Neptune, we can feel, more spiritual certainly, and more inclined to go with the flow, but it can be really hard to direct our energy. Neptune dissolves what it touches, and with it on Mars, we could find that we just feel more exhausted. We can feel, more drained, but we can feel more drained. We're just in the mood to vibe, essentially. Tuesday's astrology basically says, just go vibe, take a hike, something to attune to the big picture. I know many of us have to work. Stick to tasks where you can maybe attune to the big picture, or let's say if you have to go visit clients or something, this would be great to get some new stimuli in your system, get inspired. But yeah, just with Mars conjoining Neptune, really important to guide around being distracted, as well as if you have the option, really structure your day so you have that space and that freedom to go with the flow, because it can be creative, but with Mars conjoining Neptune, we can also just find that we feel listless, not really in the mood to do anything besides vibe. Just in the mood to vibe. With Monday and Tuesday, have some grace with yourself. Like, you are not going to be, sorry to get so dark suddenly, but you're not going to be on your, your final bed thinking about, I wish I was more productive. I wish I got more tasks done. And if you're like me and you commonly have nights where you're like, I wasn't as productive, I needed to do more today, your rest and your giving to your soul is just as valid as anything else. And Monday and Tuesday is a really great day to just nourish yourself from all of the eclipse intensity. It's intense, right? And a Mercury retrograde, a positive way to lean into it, which by the way, I have a video of some do's and don'ts on the Mercury retrograde energy, but a good way to lean into it is just to take that beat to just relax. Like, it's basically the cosmos saying, hey, we don't need to force all this new stuff out there. Let's just take a beat to handle what's already been handled, to reattune to our big picture, to go for a walk through the forest, listen to our music, and just vibe, essentially. You are worthy of that. And that's honestly medicine for the soul, which is what the Sagittarius moon wanted to give us. Honor activities that are just fun, that are lighthearted. This is also great with Venus and Jupiter being in Aries, is to honor activities that just make your inner child happy. Let me know what that is for you. For me, it's roller skating. I loved roller skating when I was younger, and I still roller skate now. It just takes me to this really just pure happy place. I want you to take time for those activities. Just give to yourself, because the Scorpio Lunar Eclipse is intense, right? It's heavy. So it's important to tap into your lightness during that time. And so Wednesday and Thursday astrology is when you can get your work done. You're like, girl, we are halfway through the week and you have told me to just vibe. vibe. That's all you have told me to do. Who's gonna pay these bills? Who's gonna get these tasks done? Okay, Wednesday and Thursday is good for this because the moon does enter Capricorn. Wednesday does feel like this energy because the Capricorn moon bickers with Jupiter in Aries, where it's like Jupiter in Aries wants to have fun. It wants to reinvigorate our lust for life, right? And with it squaring off with Capricorn moon's like, okay, we vibed enough. We vibed all Monday and Tuesday. We sang I'm Like a Bird. We listened to music while walking through the forest and just vibing and reattuning to our big picture, really celebrating our freedom. But we've got to get back to work. So Wednesday and Thursday does feel helpful for that. Just important to stay on task, stay focused. And again, the danger of Capricorn moon is that we can emotionally relate and tether ourselves to our accomplishments, to how well we feel that we're doing or how not great we feel like we're doing. And with the square to Jupiter, our inner criticism can reach a high. So really important not to be too hard on yourself if you feel like you weren't as productive on Monday and Tuesday. And again, just handle what you can handle. Wednesday and Thursday feel terribly productive, so I'd bucket a lot of your tasks then. And just being gentle with yourself. You've done enough, you are enough, you do enough. And Thursday is really positive. There's the Taurus sun trining Pluto in Capricorn. We have two Pluto aspects this week. We have this one on Thursday, and then we have Mars in Pisces sextile Pluto in Capricorn on Sunday. And the energy of Pluto, yes, Pluto is pretty intense. It's about psychology, it's about evolution, it's about transformation, but these are both soft aspects. So it is the energy around, okay, our life is transforming, and there are parts of these that are making me feel really ungrounded. It's really destabilizing to feel so free or to have so many shifts. And again, we can look at that and we can panic and be like, I don't recognize myself. I don't recognize what my life is going into. I'm going to go back to the past and hold on tight to what gives me comfort. Or we can embrace this new era, this new chapter. So on Thursday, just be mindful around if you feel that tendency to cling, because with Pluto, the only options are either evolve or decline. Like there's no in between. Our life is transforming and we can grow and transform with it. We can fly to our new nest. We can feel free like a bird, or we can just never use our wings because we're afraid to be free. We're afraid to have that destabilizing feeling of being not sure where our home is and not sure where our soul is. I'm so sorry. I can't help but reference this song every astrological aspect. It's just so good. But again, ease into the transformation. Allow yourself to go with the flow around what your life and you is transforming into. With the Taurus sun, there can be a tendency to cling to what it is that gives you stability or cling to how things were. But again, the direction of life is moving onward. And like I said with Mercury retrograde, things from the past can pop up. Okay, and we can listen to songs from our past, we can run into people from our past, and it does feel like this weekend can be a really great time to reconnect with someone from your past. Again, not an invitation to text your ex, not that at all, but it can be a nice energy this weekend around reconnecting those connections. But just because you reconnect with someone doesn't mean that you need to drag them into the future. Just because you run into someone doesn't mean like, oh, this is a sign I need to go off into the sunset with this person. Like, you're like a bird, you're flying away from here, but you can also, with love in your heart and a sense of nostalgia, honor, that particular era of your life while still knowing that the direction of your life is leading you away from that nest, away from where you were before. So it's this interesting energy where the eclipses are really asking us to transform and keep going. But there is this Mercury retrograde energy around perhaps looking to the past with a little bit of nostalgia or taking certain, lessons from your past, but remembering that the direction of your life moves onward. So move with it. And in addition to that, Sun trine Pluto, it's an earth sign, so it is really helpful in really attuning to your tasks, really muscling through them. With these earth signs, there can be really this power that is felt when it comes to your workplace. So if you need to make a presentation or proposal or ask, a authority figure for a raise or something of the like, Thursday would be my pick because you can find you're more in tune with your power and more likely to want to be visible. And the Capricorn moon does trine Uranus and Taurus that morning. With Uranus, it is helpful around innovation, novelty, seeing things in a new way. Not starting new things. Like I said before, not the time to initiate new matters, but rather nurture, refine, and redo past matters. okay? And breathe in a new style to them. Like seriously, this is the greatest time to look back at past creative projects, at past initiatives at work, and just see if there's something there. I'm telling you, you can find a lot of stuff that you're like, I forgot I even did this. Recent discovery. So in the Mercury retrograde early 2020, I was poking around on my Google Drive, just like organizing things, and I found all of this stuff that I had written that I had forgotten about, which now a lot of it is actually integrated into my guidebook over on my website, Self-Care Astrology, which houses my course, guidebook. I also have my YouTube channel, which has astrology anchored yoga and meditation flows. And what was so interesting is that I had started writing self-care basically guides for each of the signs in 2020, and I totally forgot I did that. Then I looked back and I was like, wait, there's a lot here. Oh my gosh. I still had to polish some stuff, but it's like Mercury retrograde is the time that you're like, wow, I forgot I even did this. Let's breathe some life into this and finish it and complete it. So Thursday can be energy around that, around reattuning to your power. Just be mindful Thursday if you go out to lunch. I mean, this exacts around 1 p.m. PST. The Capricorn moon squares Venus and Aries. Like I said, with Venus and Aries, we could be a little bit more impulsive when it comes to financial matters. Capricorn moon can want to keep up with the Joneses a little bit. So just try not to flex come lunchtime. Like, you can be a good coworker without, buying lunch for the entire for your entire team. And also, if I have any online shopper lunch people, Thursday's not the time for that, okay? And then Thursday night around 6:33 p.m., we have Mercury in Gemini sextile Jupiter in Aries, which feels like optimistic, curious, open energy. Like, we're getting into the lighter energies towards the end of the week. It's like, now that we've grieved and we've released and we've let go of our old nest, now we're like looking out at the world and we're seeing opportunity, we're seeing possibility. We have this Gemini energy, so we're curious about the world around us, wanting to connect with new people, learn new ideas, invite in newness. Keep in mind, inviting in newness doesn't mean starting new things, but it means being open, being curious, asking questions, connecting with the world around us. Thursday night sort of encourages that. And then the Capricorn moon sextiles Neptune and Pisces. So this would be great for a date night with some nice little banter with the Mercury in Gemini sextile Jupiter in Aries, as well as going to a movie. I know it's really random, but Neptune aspects are typically great for that. So if you've been wanting to plan a movie date with someone, this would be a great energy for it. And again, like, part of this energy around feeling weightless and like a bird is like being able to see this opportunity or see possibility in everything without getting too tethered or too attached to anything right away, right? Like, you can go on a movie date with someone and have a great time and have conversation without feeling like, okay, this new person needs to be my home, they need to be my future. Like, you can learn about yourself in the context of getting to know other people, which is also going to be part of our Gemini season story. And it's really about tapping into that lightness around connecting with other humans without feeling like you have to tether or anchor yourself right away. Like with Jupiter and Aries, it really is the time to expand yourself, the person that you are, your independence, without feeling like other people need to define you. Then late that night, we do have the Capricorn moon sextiling Mars in Pisces. Might be a little challenging to go to bed. So early on Friday, we have the Taurus sun trining the Capricorn moon. And this is the waning gibbous moon, also called the disseminating moon, which is all about, in the moon phase cycle, sharing, mentoring, guiding other people, communicating with other people, sharing with other people, writing, basically how it is that we share our message. And right on track with this, we have the moon entering Aquarius, which is an air sign, all about connecting to broad humanitarian goals. And we also have that evening sun moving into Gemini, and there is this rush of social energy. And with Gemini, it's like, it really is just a cosmic reminder around, it's not always that deep. Like, Gemini doesn't take life too seriously. They don't take connections too seriously, and not in a facetious way, but it's around, we can go on a date, go on a movie date, have a really great time, learn about something random from this individual who's an expert on that topic, expert in different horse breeds or something. And we can learn about that and take that knowledge and those random facts with us through the rest of our life. Like, if you have any Gemini friends, you know they have the most random facts ever. They'll like just be like, did you know that this horse breed does this and it's only Brit? And you're like, girl, what? And that's the gift of Gemini, is that they're open to learning. They have that eternal student mindset where they don't feel like they have to know it all. They're open to learning from you. And it's also like, you can learn from someone, have a great night, and not settle down in the same nest with them. Like, you can still be a free person, able to socialize and learn from all of these different birds, and we can learn so much about life and about ourselves through that. So this weekend, great time to honor that sociable Gemini energy. And other than that, really great time for any sort of communication, nurturing, client relationships, anything like that, as the Aquarius moon does trine Mercury in Gemini, still retrograde, so be mindful. And it sextiles Jupiter in Aries, so it's being able to see things a little bit more optimistically, learn. And then the sun enters Gemini around 6 p.m. on Friday. So on Saturday, the 21st, that Gemini sun, newly in Gemini, conjoins a retrograde Mercury, and this really is the energy around clarifying any sort of mental processes that we're in. So if Mercury retrograde is bringing up a lot of stuff to the surface around old issues and old matters, this can be a time that we're able to have this enhanced sense of clarity around it, and maybe even have a conversation with someone. Do keep in mind, with sun conjoining Mercury, oftentimes we can get a little egoically attached to our opinion. So just important to honor the energy of Gemini. Be open, be adaptable, really listen to what other people are telling you, right? The next day, Mercury goes back into Taurus, so we can find we're a little bit more stubborn come Sunday. So on Saturday, just being open to learning from the people. Like I said, this can be a day, listen, this can be a day around being able to reconnect with people from your past, whether it's friendships or things of that nature, to be able to see that connection in a new way. This is not an invitation to text your ex or anything like that. If you find you're in a city that your middle school bestie is in, like, this would be a great time to like just reach out and just like grab a coffee. Like, a coffee's not gonna hurt anyone. It's hard sometimes when you're really introverted, or if you feel socially awkward or anxious or anything of that nature, but humans are just humans, and oftentimes you can learn a lot about the world just connecting with people, and a lot happens when you say yes. And Gemini season is the time to say yes. Be free. You're like a bird. And then that evening, the Aquarius sun sextiles Venus in Aries. So definitely a great time to do something fun, something lighthearted. Maybe go-kart racing with that friend from middle school or something of the like. Do something fun and do something that enhances pleasure within your world. Later that night, we are building to a moon conjoining Saturn, so just being gentle around not being too hard on yourself or seeing things too apathetically or pessimistically. The next morning, the moon enters Pisces, and this is when the last quarter moon phase is, which is a crisis phase. And again, with Pisces moon, we're feeling things very intensely and we're more sensitive. And again, with the Gemini sun clashing with the Pisces moon, we can feel this sense around feeling lost or feeling ungrounded and being like, we're all over the place, and feel that is scary and anxiety inducing. Or we could be like, this is so exciting. Who knows what my life is transforming into next? And with Pisces moon, really just important to honor your imagination, honor your dreams, honor what makes you feel connected to something bigger, whether that is art, nature, spirituality, and also just honor your power. With the Mars in Pisces sextiling Pluto in Capricorn, like, remember, you are a powerful human and you can co-create magic on this planet. And again, you can feel the sensation of feeling lost and ungrounded and be like, I don't know who I am. I don't know what my life is transforming into. And it's like, yes, exactly. Like, you can create anything. And keep in mind, when it comes to new initiatives, I would still say hold back, but I want you to feel invigorated by this fresh new energy, this feeling of, now that you've cleansed and released and purged, there's this newness coming into your life, the sense of novelty and the sense of power, because you've moved through that. You've moved through those intensities, because Pluto does bring in these sort of like darker themes around our psychology and our psyche. And with the Mars sextile Pluto, keep in mind, with sextiles, it's an energy that's not necessarily strongly felt, but it has the potential there. On Sunday, there's this potential around realizing, I did that. I released situations that were not serving me. I went through that season of my life that was really dark and really intense. And yes, I may be lost, and I'm not sure exactly what this chapter of my memoir would be titled, but I'm free. I can co-create what it is that I want. And trust me, as a Pisces myself, it's part of the Pisces experience, just oscillate wildly between, I feel so connected, it's all aligned, to like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So just love yourself through those oscillations. Again, that's what being a bird and being free is all about. There could be moments where you feel wildly lost, like, I don't know what I'm doing, and moments that you're like, I'm free. It's so beautiful up here. And then later that night, Mercury enters Taurus, I should say, re-enters as Mercury's already traversed this terrain, which is sort of a shift from the sort of flighty, distracted, all over the place energy of Gemini to a little bit more grounded. Like I said in my Mercury retrograde video, Mercury retrograde in Taurus, Achilles heel is that it can be sometimes rigid or suddenly attached to one's own idea. And again, with Mercury retrograde, not fearing asking questions, double checking, rereading, just really important that we are double checking what it is that we are working on, because a couple of details can fall through the cracks. So don't feel like you have to have all of the answers yourself. It's Gemini season. This is the time to ask one another for advice and support and for stories and for random facts on horse breeds. So loves, I'm wishing you all the most beautiful week. The Magic Monday mantra of the week is I celebrate my freedom. Again, if you are someone where your eclipse story has been intense, you have had some major shifts, some major transformations, you let go of a job, a relationship, a home, there's a lot of changes within your world, I want you to really anchor into the feeling this week around your ability to co-create whatever it is that you want and to celebrate that this is an era, this is a chapter of your life that you'll look back and you'll crave and miss the time when you were free. Even though now you're feeling this sense around, I don't know who I am, I don't know what my life is, I don't know what's going on right now. There will be a time when you look back at this time, you're like, wow, like there was this sense of freedom. There was this sense of excitement. So just honoring your freedom towards the beginning of the week, not feeling guilty around needing to rejuvenate and relax. That's what Mars conjoining Neptune is all about. And really this week, taking some time to attune to your big picture of your world, what it is that gives you meaning and purpose. So loves, my Instagram handle is @Comet Astrology. My TikTok is the same. I would love to connect with you over there. And until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay magical.